All right. Oh, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, and I will second that. That would be the minutes of October 29th, 2020. And we're both in favor,
Yes.
so moved. Just so anybody would know, we're comfortable with just two of us being here. Apparently, when you have three on a committee, you can do your committee work with two. So, okay, onward to our new business this evening. First one we have is from the mayor.
So you want to start off with 2021-189 or 188?
We'll go with, well, let's see, rules of order. Actually, 2021-189 came in first. So I think we should do that one first.
Okay, I'm going to suspend the rules and ask for to suspend it so we can move that to that as being first.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so moved. Rules. Move to first. Okay. Let's see, I'm trying to find my notes here. I could read it. Hold on just a second. I thought I had everything I needed right here in front of me. Juliet, do you have it?
Yes. At a recent meeting, a communication was given detailing a meeting that two councils held with more than a dozen members of town staff. My concern is that we as a council do not have clear process nor clear parameters as to how such matters should be handled. I ask that the rules committee discuss this matter and offer their opinion and or draft a rule as to what an individual counselor can do regarding meeting with town staff, as well as clarifying the manager's role in said meetings. In your discussion, please consider compliance with FOI, the charter, and with existing council rules. Clarification of this process would benefit the whole council. Thank you for considering my request for your support of this referral.
Okay.
Yeah, because I normally, if I'm going to, if you don't mind me speaking, I normally, if I have something about town staff, I normally go through the town manager.
Right. Yeah. I was just going to say, I don't think we have anything in our rules that really speak to it.
No.
So I think the suggestion of a new rule is appropriate. And I don't know how you'd like to do that. We can just, I know that there has been a practice in the past, not a rule, but a practice. And the practice was that if you wish to meet with a department head, you would request it through the town manager.
Mm-hmm.
So appropriate notifications could go out and everybody would be aware of it. And then anybody that might want to attend could attend. And I guess it would be appropriate for us to add this type of a recommendation to our rules. I think the thing that we have to remember is that the department heads work for the manager. And so that meeting should go through him. It keeps it much more organized and open to everybody so that we take care of our FOI constraints. Would you like
I,
to go ahead?
I can agree with that. Cause then if, if it has to do, especially if it has to do with all town business, that we all be notified at the same time. Cause then how do we proceed or have proper information if we have questions about said meeting when we don't know the full background?
Right. Rachel, do you want to speak to this?
Sure, thank you.
Sure.
So I believe many counselors have at times gone and spoken to town staff through John Burke. And that's the proper procedure. And it's in the rules that that's basically, I think it might be, I don't know if it's policy or if it's rules. But on numerous occasions, they have come to the council and then discussed what they have learned from said director. And that's where I first learned that they have spoken to them, coming from the counselor. So this has happened on numerous occasions with many counselors, and there's never been an issue.
Can I ask you a question? Can you provide examples of that?
I know Counselor Zupiri he has brought forward some issues that he has gone and spoken to town staff about things. Maybe the finance or regarding finances, or he has had conversations, I think, with the police chief. He has had other conversations that I know of, and the council was not notified ahead of these meetings. I know Councilor Aubry has at times spoken to probably staff, and the town manager did not send out notification to the whole council that she was going to speak to maybe John Reiner. Or if you're going to implement things like this, just remember, if we're at, just say, an event, just say it's an economic development presentation, and Leanne goes and speaks to one of like staff members and asks questions, does she have to have approval ahead of time? I mean, I think you're getting into really a position.
If I can, for clarification, the only reason that I talk with either John Reiner or I talk with Paige Bronk is because I'm on a committee that I'm working with them on constantly.
Mhm.
And so it's not, I'm not asking for a meeting. And usually they're inviting me to a meeting. And very little of what we do with our committee is done on the phone. I have now a personal relationship with Paige. We just become friends, and quite often we just talk to each other about family and everything else. But I'm not a counselor at that point. I'm a friend. But other conversations that we have are because of my participation in the ongoing selection committee.
Okay.
Just to clarify that.
That's fine. I'm just saying I have heard other people that have brought information to the council.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah.
Something with maybe John Reiner or Paige Bronk, maybe at whatever event or situation they were in, something that might be coming to the council, and they said, hey, what is this about? And they might have gotten an answer. So I just think that you're going down sort of a slippery slope of having John Burt be basically the keeper of all the counselors to report to all the other counselors as well. He has, the proper procedure is to go through him, and I always do have. And when I do go to him and I say, I'd like to discuss this topic with them, and he'd say, that's fine. And I'm like, do you have any issues with me going and having like multiple meetings with them? Or do you mind if I go back to discuss this in the future as well? And he'll tell me, no, I don't. And I've always followed proper procedure.
But-
We know what the situation is with this one instance when it came to why this particular issue came forward. We're all very aware of it. We could dissect it if we want, but I don't think we need to.
No,
But
No, go ahead. What is the issue?
I'm not the one who brought this forward. I'm defending myself as the whole council received invitation that they could meet with the police.
I did not.
okay, just so you know, that my concern is that if we go to John, in actuality, John should make the arrangements, because otherwise there is no way, if somebody comes back to John and challenges something he's done, he's not going to have any record of it because we didn't go to him and ask. And especially if it was to be more than one meeting, then you should be going back to John and say, we're having a second meeting. This is the date. Is this all right? So personally, I think that we all have been, a little relaxed in how we approach it. And I think that we should look to adding to the rules. And
But just to let you know, if like, just say the meeting that I attended with another counselor was not able to be open up to all counselors. We could not all attend because then we would have a quorum. Then it
yeah,
would-
I understand that, but I'm not talking about how many go. I'm talking about the procedure of
No,
how you get there.
So I just recently talked to John Burt, and I said, is it okay if I speak to John Reiner regarding blight in zoning and code and issues? And I need to understand some process and procedures. And he said, no, I don't have a problem with that. So I talked to John Reiner about it, and I discussed some things that I knew. And he said, I've looked at these links. I've done some research. He said, send the links to me. So I did. I shared my email with John Burt to keep him in the loop. He forwarded off to the mayor. She forwarded off to the whole council. So if I'm working on something, the whole council needs to know that.
I think it's more of if we end up with policy changes, because blight does have to, certain things, and I'm sorry for putting on the other hat, some things do have to go before the council to decide, especially if there's going to be additional policy changes or additional dollar amounts that have to be changed on anything. If you're going to start fining people, that's going to be brought to the council because that would be a policy change. So we all should know that it and should be kept informed. What I don't like is being blindsided about something and then come to find out, oh yeah, this happened because we went to this. And I'm like, okay, didn't even know that was going to happen. And how are we supposed to respond, or how can we help? I don't like being blindsided by something like that, because then I don't know how to process it or do the best that I'm supposed to do, because we don't have all the information before us.
I understand that. And so the information I was discussing with John Reiner was preliminary, and I don't even know if these are things that we could do. And it was a very preliminary discussion, and I don't even know if I would ask to bring these forward to the council or not. These are just things that I was trying to discuss with him.
I think that I think it's fine for meetings that you have a particular item, you have a particular need, you want to talk to a department head, maybe get the information that you need to then come back and present it to the council. That's fine. You know, it's good that you're doing that. But the thing is that we have to have a policy that you follow for doing this. And I think the policy is that you talk with John Reiner. John Reiner makes the appointment. If there's another appointment that has to come happen, then John's responsibility is to say to his director or whomever somebody might be meeting with, I'd like to know what the meeting was about or how it went, or did anything come out. That's up to him to do with the people that work for him. What we're talking about is the process. And I think the process has to go through John. Whoops, sorry. So
every time I have done anything, I have gone through John.
fine, that's good. That's good. What I'm saying is I think we need to make it a rule so that we have the guidelines. And then also, though, I think whether it's your responsibility or John's responsibility, the mayor has to be made aware of it. So if something comes to the council, she'll be able to anticipate that may be an upcoming subject. I don't think she necessarily has to, it's up to John to talk to his department head, not the mayor, to find out what was discussed and what was decided and et cetera. And then John can make a decision as to whether he's going to talk to the mayor about it or not, or come and talk to the entire council about it. Those are decisions that come further as the process goes on, but the initial process needs to have the guidance of a rule, is my feeling. It's not going to change anything. It's just going to have some semblance of order to it.
Well, I believe if I read this correctly, it was if it is held, I'm sorry. I thought it was originally stated that if it was over so many people, if you're meeting with more than 3 town staff members, it had to be reported to the council. That's how it was presented to us in person.
I don't have anything that says that. I read through looking for some sort of, reference to what I knew we were going to be talking about, and I didn't see anything. Juliet, did you see anything? I'm sorry, Councilor Parker. Hello?
I'm here. No, I just wish we have a better policy regarding this.
All right.
'Cause
I think what I would suggest that I think we should put together our thoughts and exchange them with each other, and then have an additional meeting and try to come up with the verbiage that we think is appropriate. In the interim, what I'd like to do with the committee's approval is I'd like to talk to John about it and see what his preference is. But I do think we have to have, I will tell you when, and I apologize, I'll get back to you, Rachel, but I'm gonna let Counselor, who else had their hand up? Portia?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't mind throwing in a little bit on this. I do think it's important to have some platform, but at the same time, we want to be careful, like we did with the timer. We want to be careful about how much we try to inflict rules to every little thing that happens. I mean, is this really warranting a rule change? If ever, I mean, once again, I'm just ex officio at this meeting, but I think it's important to just not every time something happens, it doesn't really warrant a rule change. So that's my only concern. So, okay, we learn from this, let's work together. But I think there could be a way where, I don't know, I'm a little torn on this one. I think
that's all right. The thing is, we don't have anything to change.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got to do. We've got to come up with some verbiage that we would bring in for approval as an addition to the rules.
Can I butt in?
Is it needed though?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, before Rachel, before,
Juliet.
no, Miss Juliet, before Council Franco or Council Bordelon says anything else.
Yeah.
This is, okay, we can hear what you guys want to bring forward to us, but ultimately the Councilor Aubrey and I believe Councilor Baumgartner is on the call. And if he's not, please, Councilor Baumgartner, if you could say something. And if it's not Councilor Baumgartner, I'm gonna log that person out.
I think under his account, the picture is actually on his personal account, so it would have to be him.
Still would like to hear if it's him.
That's fine.
Yes, well, my thing is, tonight we can hear what you guys have to say, but I was hoping that we could, Leanne and I can, and Council Baumgartner could discuss what we were going to do. We heard your concerns during the meetings, and I'm trying to move forward on this. Because this means we're gonna have to have several meetings to discuss this. And I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing tonight, because if we're not doing any rule changes or anything, what Counselor Obi wants to talk to the town manager, which I'm okay with, to figure out how to do this one. But we still have another one to get through. And I am like back to back in meetings. So I do have another meeting I have to attend. And I was hoping that we would move forward a little bit faster, unfortunately.
Okay, can I finish I can respect that. I mean, I think it's important that we listen to everybody, and once again, nothing's gonna be decided tonight, but and if we can't make it through the whole agenda, then maybe we should table the other part to another time if we have to.
No, we're not gonna table the other one. That
No.
we're gonna end up tabling this one because Council Ombre wants to talk to the town manager.
Okay,
Okay, we'll table this, and I will talk with the town manager, and I will talk with the mayor, and we will call another meeting. I've just put down here is the councilors will request of town manager any meeting with department heads. And all shall be done at the what's the word I want? Convenience. Something like that of the town manager. Because when you request something like that, he may want to be at it. So that's what I have for now, and we will,
I believe that's already a rule.
where are you finding it?
I believe it's already a rule.
Well, I went through
If
them.
and you want to move forward, that's fine, but I believe that's already the rule. You have to go through the town manager, and
Do you have a number?
I do not, but I do believe it's already a rule.
Well, I read them before the meeting looking for it, but Juliet, do you see anything?
I believe that was an email from the town manager requesting that.
It might even be in the charter. It's just like here where it talks about relationship with municipal and administrative employees. This part's about RTM, but it's probably somewhere here. I just came upon it, the first one. The RTM and its members shall deal officially with the town staff solely through the town manager. This is already a rule, and I'm sure if I keep going, I'm going to find it in with the town council section.
Well, if you would look and find that, and let me know, I would appreciate it, because I've just kind of scanned them again and I'm not seeing anything. And, you know, we can certainly take reference to the RTM meetings, but, you know, we have our own rules.
I'm just saying it was the first thing I came upon in the charter.
Yeah. All right. We shall table that one. We shall look into it a little further. And so we shall move on to 2021-188, change of Rule 8. And Rule 8, just one second. 8888. All right. Now, if I remember correctly, Rachel, you put this one in, correct? Rachel?
Hold on a moment. I'm still looking in the charter for you. Um, This is the one where, hold on, let me grab the right one. Yeah,
Juliet, do you,
I'm sorry, this was mine. This is the part about if we,
Decided, the part about decided, if we have an issue, agenda item that we've already decided upon.
right,
I believe the reason why that issue came back, unless my thinking is if there's a clerical error or an, I don't want to say it that way, but I got to think of the verbiage because they found a clerical error when we had to redo that one. If I'm remembering correctly. Why is my computer doing this?
were you, were you speaking to the process or you were talking about after a vote? This is under G, reconsideration?
yes.
Okay,
What had happened was the verbiage, I had checked the previous rules compared to the new rules, and the verbiage had changed to if something came before the council and it was rejected, it
Yeah.
can't come back for 12 months.
right,
It was changed to add in decided, and the words decided means rejected or approved, and even if it's approved, it's not supposed to come back for 12 months. So there was something in a change, even if it, let's just say it was example, a TIF document, and we had updated it for something, we voted on it, the TIF document can't come back for 12 months because it was decided. So that's why I'm saying decided was something that we may want to remove from the rule. And because it makes sense if something's rejected, we don't want to rehash it over again for another year. But if something's decided, something may change, and even within 4 to 6 months, that we might have to make a change or an amendment to, because it's something we want to go forward with, but maybe something's changed, or we have new information and it has to be amended. Our rule says it can't come back for 12 months. So I think the word decided may be something we want to remove from that category.
um. I'm not finding that in the, as I read this, reconsideration. If voted on and defeated, a motion to reconsider cannot be renewed except by unanimous consent.
Not, is that you're under section 8G?
Yeah, yeah. And I've just looked at, that's not the same as the other one. Reconsideration in this one is H. But in the one that I have here, do you have a line where that is, Rachel? I'm not seeing it.
Council Aubrey, do you have the most recent rules?
Well, I thought I did. Wait, you got it there, Juliet?
I do. I know which section she's talking about, and it does have the word decided.
Okay.
And it's not opening right now. Oh, here it goes. I'll read it. Just give
Thank
me
you.
1 moment.
I'm not sure where that word came from. Because I've got a copy here that's just all marked up with what we made for changes, and I'm not seeing that one.
No, that was one of our discussion ones.
Okay. You want to
Sorry,
read?
my Word document's taking a little bit to load up.
All right, Rachel, can you read the line that is in?
Once a matter has been rejected or decided, substantially the same matter may not be the subject of a referral for 12 months or unless the council recommends the referral with 6 votes in favor.
So it can be brought back up
It can be, but it has to go through to a town council meeting to be brought onto the agenda the following month.
with 6 votes. Okay. So you don't want the word decided. So if an issue's been decided, but each TIF one is brought up for a new group, correct? Or is he changing the TIF due to new state statutes?
Either way, I mean, I believe that was a state statute issue and that would supersede our rules. So,
That's actually does supersede our rules, so.
Right. And if there's any conflict between rules like that, we're not, I think it'd be easier just to remove the word decided unless there was some reason your group had put it in there that I'm unaware of.
I will go back through the meeting minutes and confirm why we did it that way.
Okay. Thank you.
And if not, if there's an issue about TIF, if we have to change the rules for one item regarding state statutes, that would supersede unless we say that if a matter has to come back to the council due to state statutes or new laws, yeah, new laws of state statute, then the matter can be placed back on the agenda.
Well, it's similar to, just say no in gardens. New information
Sure.
comes up about it with zoning over knowing, and it has to come back for the council, and something has to be changed in the, what was proposed, it can come back for a year.
Or 6 months with a decision,
Right? No, or it says 12 months, yeah, or 6.
or 6 months with a
6
decision.
months.
Yes, 6 months with 6 votes. Is it 6 months or 6? Let me, oh, I got it now. I believe my computer's acting up.
I'm just gonna say goodbye to you guys. Thank you for the meeting.
Okay.
Off to another one. Thank you.
All right.
I also have another meeting as well.
All right. Well, I think that unfortunately, I don't have one in front of me that has, the word there. So,
I will email that to you tonight.
all right. And why don't we try to plan another meeting next week so that we can finish these 2 up and move on to the 3rd one?
Okay, and while the 3rd one, aren't we?
I'm sorry?
I thought we were waiting on, I have a question about that one and concern. Because I just want to double check the meeting where the actual referral came from, the meeting to compare
Okay.
to what the items were. Because I believe there was more than I thought there was on it.
Okay. Do you have that now, or you're going to find it and send it to me?
I will find that one too. Let me go back to rule 8. I have my rules up now.
Okay.
Okay. Everything's so slow tonight. Is something up with it? Or unless the council recommends the referral with 6 months. Okay. No. Yeah. 8G.
Yep.
Once a matter's been rejected or decided substantially, the same matter may substantially. All right, so yeah, but if No Ain't Garden's gonna come back before us, it's because of the decision of the planning and zoning group, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I think we have to think of different verbiage, or we add verbiage to it.
All right, I'm going to write up the one for working with the requests for meetings with different department heads. If you want to work with the verbiage for this one, then we can move forward with that.
Okay.
Would that be, Andre, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, other than just a simple question for Councilor Franco, since this is her referral. If there are any particular, I mean, obviously this was a referral that came up some time ago. And if you feel like there has been any improvement outside of any form of rules change with respect to some of your concerns, or if your concerns still kind of hold, the same concerns you had prior still hold today.
I think they still hold. And it's like I said, if there has to be an amendment or a change to something, you're going to have to go through 6 votes to get it. And it might take the process of going through a town council before it can even get back onto the agenda. And there might be time sensitive issues that if something's decided and like I said, you want to move forward with it, you have to make an amendment to it, but you know, 4 months
Yeah.
later,
Do you have any ideas about proposed language or any
I
suggestions?
think you should remove the word decided. And I
And so
think
if we remove decided, that simple change would suffice?
I believe it would. And I think the rejected items, because we don't want to rehash those again, that's proper to be in there. But I think the word decided changes the whole context of it. And it basically says anything that comes before us and any decision made on it, we're not going to be able to see this for another year unless we get six people to vote on it. So I think it would be best just to say it's decided. I mean, remove decided.
Gotcha.
I flew in from Florida this morning. Sorry, I'm a little.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. All right, so Juliet, you have one you're going to work on. I have one I'm going to work on. And we had decided, Andre, I don't know if you were here at the beginning.
Was
But
I didn't have my camera on.
that's all right. Were you here then when we decided the fact that we just today got the referral from Councilor Bordelon that we're going to put that at our next meeting?
Yes, we were only discussing Mayor Granatowski's and Councilor Franco's.
Right. All right. Does anybody have anything else for tonight?
I would suggest that on that one item, check the charter as well. For
I'm looking on that right now, Rachel, and I do not see that. I see it where it says it for the RTM, not the town council.
I'll go through it again, Rachel. Not a problem. But I did not find it. I read it earlier today, getting ready for the meeting, and I've been looking at it here, and I'm not finding anything with a reference to how you approach department heads. So I'm gonna talk to John, and I'm gonna write up some verbiage for our next meeting. And I will check and see what it is the RTM has. And I think from that, we could probably make a decision.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
We appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too. Anything else for the committee?
Are you still recording? Yes.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about something, Councilor Parker?
Nope, good. We're good.
Okay, all those in favor of adjournment?
Oh, it needs a second.
Needs a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we will set up another meeting within the next 10 days so that we can get these things finalized.
That's where I was going with that, because we need to make that decision before we adjourn.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
All right, we will do that. Okay, all those in favor of adjourning?
No second yet. Who's second?
Oh, somebody said second. I'll second.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
Juliet, I always appreciate your assistance very, very much.
thank you. Okay, I'm gonna, yeah. I gotta
Okay.
look some stuff,
All right.
and I gotta remember why we did something, so, okay.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go back to some notes and try to see what we had in our mind at the time. So, but we ought to not keep talking now because we'll get ourselves in trouble.
All right.
So,
Oh,
good
did you
night.
adjourn?
Motion to adjourn has been seconded and so moved.
Good night.
Good
Good night.
night.